I want to address this question of what an AI search engine would look like, meaning a search engine that's directly connected to a generative AI. So all search engines have some aspects of the AI already associated with them in the back end, but we're talking about an actual search engine that would be connected with AI in a way that would present information in a really powerful and interesting way. So this is coming about because there's lots of rumors going around right now as far as OpenAI coming out with an actual search engine that's powered by ChatGPT or by OpenAI in general. This is an interesting thing. They've come out here just recently and said no, that they're not going to be announcing this right now, today, but maybe in the future. And it's really interesting to think about an OpenAI search engine, especially when you think about some of the statements that Sam Altman has made here recently. Here's one where he talks with Lex Friedman on his podcast. Check it out.
The question is if we can build a better search engine than Google or whatever, then sure, we should go, people should use a better product. But I think that would so understate what this can be. Google shows you 10 blue links, 13 ads and then 10 blue links. And that's one way to find information. But the thing that's exciting to me is not that we can go build a better copy of Google search, but that maybe there's just some much better way to help people find and act and synthesize information. I think ChatGPT is that for some use cases, and hopefully we'll make it be like that for a lot more use cases. But I don't think it's that interesting to say, how do we go do a better job of giving you 10 ranked web pages to look at than what Google does? Maybe it's really interesting to go say, how do we help you get the answer or the information you need? Mm-hmm. How do we help create that in some cases, synthesize that in others, or point you to it in yet others? But a lot of people have tried to just make a better search engine than Google, and it is a hard technical problem. It is a hard branding problem. It is a hard ecosystem problem. I don't think the world needs another copy of Google. The intersection of LLMs plus search, I don't think anyone has cracked the code on yet. I would love to go do that. I think that would be cool.
So lots of possibilities there as far as what he's talking about and the way that they would go about creating a search engine. So it wouldn't just be a regurgitation of what Google does in the way that it presents information. Here's a bunch of sponsored links, and then here's some information. They're talking about being able to do more and presenting information in a different way. So then that leads us to the question of what would this look like? What would an AI front end search engine actually look like? Well, the question is actually already answered because there's actually multiple examples of this. The first one is Perplexity. So if we look at Perplexity here and we pose it a question, let's say, when will GPT-5 come out? When we look at that and we submit that, it gives us these answers. So what it does is it first gives us an AI answer, and this AI answer is created from the actual search results. So here are the search results, which says the sources, and it gives us 3 or 4 top sources, and you can continue to look at more. But then it gives us this AI answer that's extracted from those actual sources. So these right here, it gives us a nice little answer, and you can see how it gives us actual links to the actual sources of where it comes from. So that's a real powerful way that now the search engine is giving us more than just a listing of actual websites. It's actually giving us more advanced information because it's combining that, but now we can trace to where it came from. So it's not just a black box of, okay, it gives us an answer, but no, here's the actual sources, current, live. These are all relatively pretty new within a month or so, a couple months, as far as information. So it's not like it's going back to its pre-trained data that might be from a long time ago. No, it's giving us relevant new information based off of those new sources. So I can continue to ask it more questions and go in deeper, or I could go and look at those specific results for my search. So again, it's really combining and presenting in a different way. So that's a real powerful way that it can actually display the information. But that's just one example. That is from Perplexity. But Google themselves have actually started to look into this. Here's an example of what you can get right now, depending on what type of settings you have, because I wasn't able to access this in all of my search browsers, but on one, I was able to get this to show up. So here you see that I type in the same type of search, when will GPT-5 come out? And it gives me a listing underneath, but to begin with, it gives me an AI answer. It gives me an AI answer, meaning that it went through and it looked at those search results and then from that extracted the information and then gave me an answer. And I can expand the answer so it can give me more information. And again, you can see that it's giving citations to where this actually came from. So that's really powerful. And that gives us sort of a taste of what could be the end result of an AI powered search result from OpenAI. We have some nice little examples here, as well as Bing themselves. This is one of the major things that they've done is now they've come out with, when you go to Bing and use that search engine, it's very much centered on having an AI being the main interface. So here's an example of that. So I'm going directly to Bing, that's the search engine, and it says, ask me anything. So I'll type in the same question, when will GPT-5 come out? And then here's the result. You see here, it's giving me results on the left-hand side, but then right here in the middle, it actually gives me an explanation. And this is a Copilot AI result. So it's telling me, here's the information, here's what the AI actually thinks, and then I can make it larger and see additional information. And you see again, the individual citations of where it got this information. Very powerful, gives us much more. It's definitely more usable. It will increase our capabilities and reduce our time and having to go through searches. So this is a very powerful thing. And OpenAI's implementation might be even more powerful, more interesting. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, having this type of new reality, we have to continue to always ask ourselves questions based off of our AI literacy, right? The first one is to just to understand that, hey, this exists. The different search engines might be doing this in a different way. So we need to know the capabilities. Need to have knowledge about this. So that's the first part, is just having this awareness, which again, AI literacy, that's an aspect of this. But then the other big part of this is also critical thinking. We have to make sure that we are still thinking critically about what's going on. Now, yes, this will give us the added ability to go in deeper to verify the information that's expressed. But then we also have to ask ourselves other questions, ethical questions. If this is giving me the information just right there, the AI is giving me this, and it extracted that from the search page, does that mean that the viewer won't go to the search page? Is it counting that view? Are people no longer going to come to my website because they're just getting this information directly from the AI? Is that going to affect the business? Is that going to affect how those people are able to profit, the exposure of other websites? These are important things to consider. Is that fair? Is it not? Compensation, all these different things come into play. So these are questions that we should be asking ourselves as well as our students in order to come up with sort of the best way going forward. These are things to consider. Again, AI literacy should always be playing a role whenever any new technology comes out. And new technology, new advancements in the AI will continue to happen. So again, this is something for us to continue to be looking at, discussing, and then considering. All right, that's everything that I have for today. We'll see what happens with their announcements today as far as new technology coming from OpenAI. And remember, learning is for life.